All right, I'm gonna let you take a guess at what's in the bag. All right, I'm gonna squeeze the bag a little bit, let you make a guess. Maybe you think it's a dead squirrel. What do you think it is? So put your comment below what you think's in the bag, and then pause the video. Go ahead and pause the video. Go down and take a guess at what you think's in the bag, and then let's come back and open it together. You ready? And we're back. Let's see what's in the bag. Now these are some figures that I bought. I don't know what they are. I know I got them off of eBay, and the reason I got them is because I think they weren't even labeled at the time what they were. There's just mystery action figures. But I am really glad I got them. I got them pretty inexpensive because they look really great, and they're made out of metal. That's metal right there. The plastic, the only plastic they have is, I think, the head, the weapons, the backpack, some of the armor. Oddly enough, isn't that ironic that the armor is made out of plastic but the figure's not? They kind of remind me of Big Bad Beetleborgs. They're probably from that line. If I look it up, I'm sure I can get my camera and do that little Google search thing now. Figure out what these are, but you got screws on them because they are real metal. And I'm pretty sure this is like, Sheriff Shader or whatever, or the Metal Hero line that Big Bad Beetleborgs came from, and so did the ARC Troopers. I got a black piece of this, like we saw which one it came to. Here's the female, because they have to have that female in the group. You can tell by her high heel boots. That's the only reason you can tell. But I think the legs right here, I think those may be plastic. I was thinking that on this one. It's hard to tell. Her armor is definitely plastic. But there's okay articulation. Like the arm goes up like that. There's no bicep swivel, which drives me crazy because I like bicep swivels. Ever since G.I. Joe invented it, I've never wanted to go back. Unless it's Star Wars figures, and then it's like no big deal. But if there's any like arm articulation like this, I want there to be a bicep swivel, because then, I don't know, it looks like they're not pointing off like to the side. All right, so we got the black, the red, and the blue. So almost like the Alba Gas or Voltron #2, which never came to America. The same color coordination of them. But I feel like I've seen this before. Like this is something with the word soul in it, like Solbrain or... what's funny is you're going to say, well, don't you know you put the title on there? By the time I get this video up and running, I will have the title on there. I didn't want to make a long video. I just want to make a really short video of stuff that's old. I don't want to do modern videos that are like, oh, this is what just came out and why you should buy it. There's plenty of people who do that. I want to do stuff that's obscure and that nobody else has done. I mean, why tread the same path that everybody else has been? Isn't that like a book? I was reading that book, or it was a poem. The Path Less Traveled. I want to be original. I always liked to be original. When I was a kid, I remember there was something I was wearing, and then everybody else started wearing it. I was like, ugh. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so when I was in high school, I went to a school where we had air conditioning, so we could not wear shorts. It had to come down to your knees. And so I started wearing gyms, and all the other guys, like on the football team, were they were the older kids that were on the football team. In one of my math classes, like, why do you wear those? It's like, because it's hot and I ride a bus. I don't ride a car. I don't have air conditioning. I ride a school bus home. So yeah, I was definitely in 10th grade because I still didn't get to drive then. And they made fun of me. And then at the end of the year, they all were wearing the same thing. I was like, why are you wearing those? And I started making fun of them. It was like, yeah, you guys, you made fun of me when I was wearing them. There's only 2 guys in the entire school of like 1,296 kids in my high school, because I was number 1,296. Anyway, so there was over 13,000 students at this school, and only 2 of us wore them. It was me and Eric West, and he also wore trench coats, so he was like the same kind of vibe that I had, but I didn't have classes with him ever. It was weird. We had the same mind or something. But we were the only 2 that wore them, and we didn't care what people thought. We were like, hey, you don't ride a school bus home. It's too freaking hot to be wearing jeans. And I don't have, I grew up at the lake. The lake, there's a long ways to go home. And you're like, why would it be long? Because instead of roads just going, like a nice little layout like a city, the roads go out, and then you have to come all the way back, and then they go out, you have to come all the way back, because the way the lake is,